We're back, babes, with season 2 of Love Island Games, and this premiere was absolutely explosive. We had iconic entrances, learned about what goes down in the Islanders' DMs, and who's in it to win it, and who's looking for the love of their life. In just this one episode, sparks flew, drama unfolded, and twists gave us and the Islanders whiplash. Some Islanders dominated their competition while others broke hearts. But which one got the messiest? Stick around because it's wilder than you think. Hey girl, hey! I'm Lala, a relationship and intimacy coach with a serious addiction to reality TV drama. And as much as I love relationships and romance, let's be real, it can be toxic, dramatic, and downright chaotic. That's why I'm here every episode of Love Island Games to spill my takes, check out the red flags, and break down the messy love we can't stop watching. Today, we're talking about the iconic OG Islander entrances, Ariana's fire pit twist, and what the helly moments that left the villa in shambles, and my 2 cents on all the chaos. So grab your wine, girl, hit that subscribe button, and let's kiki all about the mess. Let's talk entrances because production really gave us jet skis, helicopters, and even a sad little bus. And honestly, it told me everything I needed to know about these Islanders. First in the villa were KK and Andrea, who came walking hand in hand like a baddie duo with a pretty girl aura about them. KK says she's grown since she's been on season 5 of Love Island USA. And child, let's hope so, babe. She says she doesn't like nonchalant men, but she's looking for a chalant man, which chalant isn't even a real word, but go off, sis, because you should want a man who loves you out loud and is all about you. KK said it's not about the money for her, but rather the ultimate win, which is finding her husband and winning the money together. I like the ideal of this, but I'm like KK, baby. Have you watched any of these men on their seasons? Like, girl, focus on a good time and secure the bag. Andrea, meanwhile, sis describes herself as the girl who still falls hard and fast, which I'm like, good lord, baby doll, this isn't healthy behavior. Also, why is she still whining about Rob a year later? It's giving it's giving swim fan. And she needs to link up with Sierra from season 7 because, mind you, she spent maybe 3 whole days with him. What's even crazier is she actually thought he, of all people, was falling in love with her and would be her husband. But anyway, she said she's here about the competition. She says she's competitive, so she doesn't care if he's a hottie, only if he's athletic and they can win together. Once in the villa, these two pop the bottle and bond it over falling hard and fast, which screams double Delulu energy. Who else thinks they're going to drive us absolutely crazy this season? Then we got Andreina, jet skiing in like the bad bitch she is. In her intro, she says she's actually taking someone's man this time. I absolutely cackled. Like, yes, girl, manifest that shit. She even spilled that Johnny, Tyreek, and Josh were already in her DMs. Savage. She's got her eyes on Tyreek, and honestly, I caught that in my prediction videos. They'd make a hot, and I mean piping hot couple. But babe, did you watch his season? Because Tyreek is messy, messy, messy. Speaking of the menace himself, Tyreek and Lucinda arrive next, pulling up in a helicopter because production clearly knew they would give big main character energy. Tyreek had me already laughing with his intro because he was already on his bullshit talking about, Love Island is different now because it looks like America has a bigger budget. Then he threw me for a loop when he said he doesn't like American girls because they are too much. The fuck? And UK men are more laid back. He said he doesn't see eye to eye with them. I was like, sir, who the fuck hurt you to make that bold ass generalization? I'm like, damn, sir, what American girl traumatized you? Tyreek did speak to my soul when he said, you either love him or hate him because he's outspoken, and I can relate to that, which is all right because you can't be for everybody. At least with a blunt person, you know what you're getting every single time. I'm a no fucks given person too. So, hey. He says he's an expert at getting the most women, which makes sense. He's fine AF. Child, time he sets foot into that villa, he's already flirting with Andreina before he even sits down. I feel a connection brewing. Lucinda is back for her third shot, and at this point, sis is gonna run out of countries. She admitted she has zero athletic ability, which is bold considering this is literally Love Island games. This is not regular Love Island, baby girl. She needs to figure some shit out quick because being good at the challenges is key for survival. She's about to be stressed fighting for her life in this villa. Like, super stressed. Next to arrive are Kendall and Isaiah, who drive up in a Jeep and jump out like two very messy men ready to fuck some shit up. Kendall says he's been single for a year, therefore he's here more so looking for love because it's called Love Island, not Money Island. Okay, whatever. Kendall came in still talking about Nicole, like, move on, sir. Damn. But he likes to think he's authentic, a good kisser, and has a big brain on his shoulders. His words, not mine, because I'm pretty sure the saying is you have a good head on your shoulders, but I digress. Then Isaiah, who is trying to convince us he's grown past his cheating era, claiming his cheating on Sydney was because he was young, dumb, and full of calm. I don't understand his use of air quotes when he's saying the word cheating. Let's call a spade a spade. You were a cheater in your last relationship. To be sincere in your growth, you need to stand 10 toes down when owning your mistakes, Isaiah. Also, you Rabbit fans are savage. You guys need to remember, these are still people. I say this to say that Sydney found out he was cheating because someone sent her a video of him fucking another girl. Isaiah is wrong for cheating. That's just a super gross violation of a person. Let's be real. But I will say, once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy. Because on the show, when they were in the villa, he moved like that with Sydney. There was a lack of respect for Sydney's feelings, so it's unsurprising that it carried out into the real world. I hollered so hard when the producer straight up asked if he's still a F-boy. And he said, can I at least have a roster? I'm like, Lord, help this child. He claims he's matured and less impulsive, but we'll see. Isaiah lets us know he's not the most athletic, so it sounds like his game strategy is to ride the coattails of a girl by framing himself as being here looking for love. It's not a bad idea, but he needs to be upfront with these women if that's his game plan. Then production threw Garby, Nicola, and Mert on a sad little bus, and I cackled. Clearly not the favorites. I went from not knowing anything about Garby to knowing she's a virgin, and that's such a weird societal thing we need to unpack as a whole. But girl, so what? Virginity is just a social construct rooted in misogyny that places worth on women based on sexualization. At the same time, you should value yourself and your body. Your virginity is not a prize to be won. It's not. Garby did say she wants to lose her V card to her boyfriend, and that's honestly the best way. She's a self-proclaimed party girl, loud, outspoken, and she learned English with an American accent through social media. And this blew me away because you cannot tell at all that this girl's first language isn't English, American English especially. And she's here first and foremost for the money. And I know that's right. Nicholas seems sweet, but has very airhead energy. And Mert, poor Mert, I even forgot to include him in my predictions. He's sexy. He's giving athlete, gentleman, but honestly, forgettable. Sorry, babe. Finally, we had Josh and Chris flying in on a seaplane like they were the stars of a Bond movie. They got a big dog entrance. It was super cool. That's probably why they walked in like they thought they were champs. Josh is a sweet lover boy, competitive, and carrying his sister's memory with him, and I absolutely love that for him. Meanwhile, Chris came in cocky, already talking about how everyone probably already knows who he is. Sir, you were a Casa boy. Relax, homie. Someone needs to humble his big ass real quick. Once everyone has arrived, they split off into groups by gender to chit chat. The guys basically all wanted Andrea, Andreina, and KK. Who knew Andrea would be such a hot commodity? But I know a lot of men love a Latina. The girls, way more low key about their picks. However, KK immediately clocked Chris, Tyreek, and Josh as her types. So that triangle is already brewing. But the funniest moment was when Tariq says he likes mind games, and Isaiah goes, "Oh, like trivia and puzzles?" Babe, Tyreek is always on some bullshit because he said he meant manipulation. I was dead as fuck. From KK and Andrea being the Delulu duo to Tyreek on Demon Time, these Islanders are already showing their true colors. Who do you think will keep you entertained all season long, and who's already giving you the ick from the time they stepped into the villa? Drop it below because I need to know who y'all are vibing with. Now, babes, just when the Islanders thought they could kiki and chill, Ariana came strutting in looking like a bad bitch, and the whole vibe shifted. She drags the girls to the fire pit where the boys are hanging out and drops the craziest bomb. Love Island Games is serving up the biggest prize in franchise history. $250,000. I was gagged when she mentioned $250,000. Put me in, coach. Put me in. Except I'm over the age limit for the show and not exactly single. But honestly, for $250,000, maybe I could be. Like, did Amaya Papaya, Hurricane Huda, and Nicolandria bring in that much viewership that the ad revenue is paying big bank like this? Because, ooh, wee. But seriously, what do y'all think? Is Love Island Games about to turn into Money Island with this prize? Or would you still play for love? Drop your answers in the comments because I need to know how many of you would be in it for the bag versus the bay. Sis, after Ariana shocked us and them with the 250K twist, she wasn't done just yet. She dragged the Islanders into their very first challenge, a gladiator themed mess called Ruin Me. And listen, the costumes look cheap and itchy like the Spirit Halloween's clearance section. The game: collect 4 hearts, bust through slime, slide around in a tossed salad, snatch a heart off the Islander you want to save, and end with a kiss. Not only is it a race against your opponent, but a race against the clock. And to up the ante, whoever is the quickest gets first dibs on who to couple up with. Honestly, who comes up with this shit? Like, who in the producer room was like, this was a good idea? But let's talk about the chaos that went down. First up, the girls had to face off in a gladiator style match. And let me tell you, this was giving slime, sweat, and hell of a struggle. Round one was Andreina versus Lucinda. And Andreina came in locked and loaded. She picked Tariq to save, which, yeah, girl, we saw that coming. Lucinda picked Mert, bless her heart. And of course, Lucinda got stuck in the slime pit like a toddler at Chuck E. Cheese, while Andreina pushed through to secure the win in the first round. Tariq looked too pleased about that kiss, too. Poor Lucinda sucks. And I mean, baby girl sucks at competitions. Bless that baby's heart. Even Kendall teased in his confessional, which he can't really talk, you'll see, saying, "You hear that noise? That's Lucinda still splashing around the slime pit." Kendall's ass is so damn messy. Nothing has changed. Round two was Andrea versus Nicola. Andrea went for Josh and Nicola went for Chris. They were neck and neck, but Andrea pulled it out. I'm not the hugest fan of Andrea because I'm still stuck on the fact that she can come off as male centered, but I'll give her this. She's very scrappy. Nicola surprised me in this competition. I thought she'd be a fumbling fool, but she held her own. Then round three gave me everything I needed. Garby versus KK. Babes, Garby is a beast. Beauty, brains, and bronze. All in one. She snatched that win so fast, my jaw was on the floor. She did not come to fuck around. Homegirl showed up and showed out. She picked Kendall, which is interesting because Kendall doesn't exactly have a track record of dating black women. And that's fine if it's a preference and not a prejudice. But I've got my eye on him. I got my eyes on him. Meanwhile, KK went for Chris, but she couldn't keep up. Garby officially cemented herself as the baddest, the baddest athlete in the villa. Then the boys stepped up and it was testosterone, slime, and just way too much cockiness. I was not feeling it. First round, we had Josh versus Tariq. Josh saved Andrea and Tariq went for KK. Josh actually killed it physically, but Tariq pulled out the win. In the kiss with KK, he was eating that up. Demon Time is already loading because he was so about Andreina when he first walked into the villa. So, Next was Mert versus Chris. Mert saved Lucinda and Chris went for Andrea. Chris won, but the highlight for me, Mert and Lucinda are low-key vibing. Like, he's giving sweet, she's giving messy, but I could see it. Last but not least, we have Kendall versus Isaiah, and bless Kendall's heart. But his round against Isaiah was very hard for me to watch. Kendall picked Garby and Isaiah picked Andreina. I can't say her name. It's like Andreina. And Kendall's, he just flopped. The poor man looked like he was wading through quicksand while Isaiah breezed through. I hollered. This man had better pray that Garby keeps carrying him because athletically, it's giving bottom of the pack. He's the little dog, not the big one, y'all. Don't be mistaken. All right, babes. After watching Slime, Sweat, and Struggle, who do you think was the biggest beast of the first challenge and who flopped the hardest? Drop your picks in the comments because I need to know if y'all are putting Garby on a pedestal because she deserves it or roasting Kendall's ass with me. Okay, so after all the slime and smooches, we finally get our first couples. And this is where things really got messy. First place girl, Garby. Garby crushed everyone with the fastest time overall. Homegirl did her biggest one, point blank, period. She picks Kendall, which makes sense because they seem to be feeling each other. And Kendall lucked out because he needs her to carry him through. Like, literally. And honestly, I'll admit it. I wasn't expecting them to vibe this well, but Kendall and Garby are actually, as much as it pains me to say this, they're actually kind of cute together. I am side-eyeing Kendall because Is he really into her or just latching onto her because she's the villa's strongest competitor to stay safe? I don't think this will be a romantic partnership, but rather opportunism on Kendall's part. Therefore, I'm keeping my foot on Kendall's neck all season to see which one it is. Because I don't play about Garby. I do not play. Chris also placed first as the top boy, but then pissed me off by being unnecessarily rude to Garby. Ariana literally asked if they'd want to couple up and why they chose not to do so, and he tried to shade her mental toughness. Like, y'all have been there for a few hours. Calm the fuck down. Like, sir, you're salty because she outperformed you. Sit down, big man. Sit down before someone puts you down. Still, he picked KK, which was one of my predictions. And I actually like them as a duo if he doesn't Keenan her and make her look crazy. Also, I do want to point out that while Chris annoyed the hell out of me this episode with his cockiness, I'll give him this. His validation of KK really touched me when they talked privately later on in this episode. He reminded her of her strengths when she still feels humiliated from how Keenan played her in her season 5 of Love Island USA. And that's exactly the kind of energy she deserves. But what really gagged me was KK admitting she used to give blind loyalty and now she makes men earn it. Babes, this was a whole ass sermon. Love is a gift, not an obligation. Loyalty isn't about sticking it out at all costs. It's about reciprocity, respect, and boundaries. That's embodied self-worth, and it's the growth arc I want for every woman watching who may find KK's behavior from her Love Island season relatable. Andrea and Tyreek both landed in second place. Andrea picked Josh, so Josh still partnered with a blonde, just not the one I thought he'd go for. But I have a bone to pick with Josh this episode. Josh was salty because he kept finding Tyreek's hearts, and instead of throwing them out or throwing them down, his dumbass was handing them to him. So he was being an annoying ass about it. Like, Tyreek robbed him of second place when it was his own stupid actions. Josh, I liked you on your season. I know it's been a few years since you've been on television, but I'ma hold your hand when I say this. Calm the fuck down, sir. Also, Josh and Andrea as a couple stress me out. They're two lovers who fall way too fast. Them having that same energy is a recipe for disastrous heartbreak. When they're talking together later back at the villa, I hollered when Andrea clocked him for always picking blondes. I mean, she's not wrong. I do like in their one-on-one conversation, his response to Andrea's question about what his type was in a relationship. And he says, peace of mind. That's a really healthy outlook on romantic relationships. Love shouldn't and doesn't have to be a struggle. While it can be hard work, it shouldn't be stressful or challenging. It should be pleasurable in a comfortable, safe space. Meanwhile, Tyreek picked Andrina. Like I said he would. They're the hottest couple in the villa. No question. However, Tyreek is here for the dinero. So no matter how fine Andrina is, when he found out she placed second to last, Tyreek was second guessing his choice in partners. I don't blame him. Money is on the line, but he's going to switch up on her the moment he perceives her as not useful to him. So, Andrina will feel insecure in this coupling because his connection with her is conditional and transactional. And he's not going to take the time to make his feelings for her transformational so they can win together. Mert placed fourth for the guys. Mert chose Lucinda and Babes. He pulled out the sweetest line of the night. When Ariana asked why he chose Lucinda, he said his English wasn't good. And Ariana replied, well, if you're more comfortable, you can say it in Dutch. He said, it wouldn't matter what language he used because she'd still be speechless. Sir, smooth. Honestly, I'm rooting for him. Lucinda might just have found her man. However, Lucinda tends to get bored easily and gravitates towards toxic men. So we'll see if this connection holds up through the season. And then we've got the leftovers. Nicola got third, and Isaiah got stuck with her by default. No chemistry, no sparks, just vibes of two people waiting for new bombshells to walk in. Let's just be honest. It's painful to watch, honestly. Then, later on, back at the villa, Isaiah essentially tells Nicola that he's not really built for physical or mental competition. So he gave me pause. I'm like, Zay, baby, why did you even come on to Love Island Games? You're wasting everyone's time. So that's where our day one couples landed. But I want to know from y'all, who do you think has real chemistry and who's just playing strategy until someone better walks in? Drop your predictions below, babes, because I've got my eyes on Kendall and Tyreek already. I got my eyes on them. And they're not about to play in Garby and Andreina's faces on my watch. Now, y'all thought the first coupling challenge was dramatic. That was just the warm up. Ariana comes back with her signature bad bitch walk and tells them to get their asses to the fire pit. Then we see the G Wagon rolling up, and I knew, aw shit, the first bombshells have arrived to the party. Except in Love Island Games, just for tonight, they're called Heartbreakers. And honestly, I absolutely loved it. Out comes Charlie and Solin, and babes, this is where I was gagged. Charlie's energy was flat when he bombed into season 7 with Sierra, but with Solin by his side, it felt like they were ready to fuck some shit up because Solin just has this bad bitch energy, and so he was just feeding off of it. Mr. Daddy's home. And they delivered, kissing everybody, making it messy like Bombshell should. And not just kissing, but like loud kissing. That kind of sounds like someone's trying to like swallow a tuna fish sandwich or a tuna salad sandwich without water. Or like when it gets stuck to the top of your mouth and you're trying to get it down with your tongue and you're like, that's what it sounded like. I was screaming. Meanwhile, Tyreek watching Charlie kiss Andreina, you could see the gears turning. Demon time was brewing, babes. He did not like that shit at all. Then came the oh shit moment of the night. Solin snatched Mert, which nobody, including me, had on their bingo card, and she tongued him down right in front of Lucinda. Savage. That left poor Lucinda vulnerable. And Charlie shocked me by picking Andrea instead of Garby, which left Josh single. I guess I don't see what the hype is about for the men when it comes to Andrea. Could someone please help me understand? And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, could you please help me understand in the comments, like, why so many men want Andrea? Like, I'm really not trying to be funny or mean. Like, I'm genuinely wanting to know. And I would have sworn Solin would have gone for Isaiah. I don't see Mert and Solin having any chemistry whatsoever. But anyway, Ariana wasn't done. She hit them with the twist that in 48 hours, the Heartbreakers necklaces have to be passed on, or they're getting dumped from the villa. And babes, the preview for episode 2, a duel to decide who gets to survive, production is not playing this season. All right, besties, who shocked you more? Solin stealing Mert or Charlie picking Andrea? And do you think Lucinda or Josh deserves to be saved from the heartbreak first? Drop your takes in the comments because I need to know whose side you all are on. Honestly, besties, I really enjoyed this premiere more than a regular Love Island season. The stakes feel higher, the drama feels juicier, and the casting was actually spot on, unlike the flop of USA season 7, which was a hot fucking mess. But let me be real, 2+ hours for a premiere, it's too damn long. Production, respect mine and everyone else's attention span. I love mess, but I don't need a movie. I do love how they gamified even the bombshells, making them heartbreakers with necklaces instead of just pretty faces strolling in. That was a very smart twist. My fave girls at the end of this episode are Garby, KK, and Celine. Garby is a badass. KK, per usual, is entertaining, and Celine brings the mess. My fave guys at the end of this episode are Mert, Tyreek, and Charlie. Mert is just super sweet. He made my heart flutter. Charlie came in with big dick energy and did his biggest one as a bombshell. And Tyreek is just funny as fuck. Well, guys, that wraps up episode 1 of Love Island Games season 2, and woo, what a ride. If you were thoroughly entertained like me, hit that subscribe button and come sip and kiki with me after every episode, because I'll have the messy takes and a few love lessons tucked in. If you had fun today, show me some love with a thumbs up. And don't forget to follow me everywhere at Lala Loves Mess for more daily tea. And if you're craving deeper love, sex, and relationship tidbits and want to join my girl gang of women who keep it fun, sexy, and judgment free, head to my website and sign up for my email list. That's where I spill the tea I can't always share on YouTube because it's a little bit too spicy. Thanks for hanging out with me, babes. I'll see you next time for all the mess. Until then, keep it classy and let the Islanders be the ones to get freak nasty. Smooches.